it's Kayla and I'm back with another video. Today we're going to be talking about my favorite reads of 2022. I had a really great reading year. I'm about to hit 250 books read for the year, and we're going to chat about some of my favorites today. There was absolutely no way I could narrow it down to just my top 10, so I'm going with my top 22 reads of 2022. If you're new to my channel, hi, my name is Kayla. I am a freelance social media manager and personal assistant for indie romance authors. I love to read spicy romance, and if you want to see more book content from me, definitely check out my booktok and my bookstagram. That's it for this intro. Let's hop into my top reads of 2022. First up is Twisted Lies by Anna Huang. This is the last book in her Twisted series. I feel like I went into this book with pretty high expectations because I love the first 3 books in the Twisted series, and this was like the finale of it all. And it did not disappoint. I really loved Christian and Stella. I loved the fake dating aspect. It's definitely a slow burn compared to the other books in the series, but it's still really, really good. Definitely sad that the Twisted series is over, but I loved book 1 of her new series, Kings of Sin, so I'm really looking forward to the rest of that series. Next up is A Single Dad by Marnie Mann. Marnie Mann is a new to me author this year, and I love everything I've read from her so far. This is book 3 in her Dalton Brothers series, and if you want a series that is very quick to the spice, all of these books fit that. But my favorite of the series is definitely The Single Dad. I absolutely love single dad romance, and this one was just so good. The chemistry between Ford and Sydney was so good. I absolutely loved it. And I totally did not expect the kind of plot twist happening at the end, but I really, really loved it. Next up is Sinbin by Tegan Hunter. This is book 4, I think, in our Carolina Comet series. I forget which one. I think it's 4. I read all 5 books that are out so far in the Carolina Comet series this year, and I really enjoyed all of them, but Sinbin definitely has to be my favorite. This is an age gap secret office romance. Amelia and Smith had a hot hookup several years ago, and now they're kind of put back together when Amelia works for the hockey team that Smith plays for. They can't be together because of their work contracts, but they're also in very different places of their lives, but their chemistry is so good, and I love everything about them together, and I just love the Carolina Comet series. I'm really excited for Glove Save. I think it comes out in February. Next up is Mine for Yours by Harlow Ray. If you're looking for standalone small town romance, Harlow is your gal. Mine for Yours is her newest release, and it is a double single parent romance. I'm not even kidding you. Back in like May, I was thinking about how badly I wanted to read a double single parent romance, and not even a week later, Harlow messaged me and was like, guess what my next release is, and here we are. Riley moves back home after her older brother passes away, and she is determined to continue his legacy and help run his bar. That puts her in the path of Rhodes, who is her brother's best friend and business partner, and he is definitely a jerk to her at first, but he quickly thaws and realizes that they're meant to be together. This book is definitely emotional, but also so adorable. I love the kids and how determined they are to get their parents together. And Harlow's next series is going to be a little bit of a spin-off of this book, so I'm really looking forward to it. My next top read is The DoOver by T.L. Swan. This is the last book in the Miles High Club series, which is definitely one of my all-time favorite series. My top read is definitely the Casanova still, but I did really, really enjoy The DoOver. Christopher really wants to get away from his like rich, wealthy playboy lifestyle, and he decides to kind of give up everything and go backpacking for a year. On his first day traveling, he meets Hayden. They don't really get off to the best start, but they quickly become friends, and it just becomes more between them. Christopher is definitely a jerk for the first like 70% of this book, but the last 30% he just is absolutely amazing, and I love him to death. This book is a long one. All of the books in this series are, but you can get through them pretty quickly. This was just the best end to the series, and I'm really looking forward to the extended epilogues that are coming this year. Next up is This Is Forever by Natasha Madison. Natasha Madison was a new to me author this year, but she's quickly become one of my favorites. She writes hockey and a small town romance, and this is one of her hockey romances. It's actually book 4 of the This Is series, but it is my favorite of the series. Justin is working at a hockey clinic camp for the summer, and he meets Caroline, who is a single mom. She's definitely struggling to get by and is not very good at accepting help, but Justin is determined to be there for her and show her that not all guys are bad. It's really, really adorable. Justin is the sweetest book boyfriend ever. I absolutely love this book, and I definitely need to read more of her hockey romance series. Next, we have Tempt by Melanie Harlow. This is the last book in her Cloverleaf Farms Next Gen series. I realize a lot of my favorites from this year are the last book in the series, but this one was so good. This is an ex-boyfriend's dad romance, which I truly never expected Melody to write, but it was so good and very spicy. Millie gets stuck in a hotel in New York due to a storm, and she decides to kind of be adventurous for once and go down to the hotel bar. She meets Zach, the older, rugged ex-Navy SEAL, sitting across the bar, and the chemistry between them is instant, and they go upstairs for some fun. Millie leaves super early the next day, never expects to see Zach again until a month later when she is planning her ex-boyfriend's wedding, and the last person she ever expects to be standing there at the rehearsal dinner is Zach, because he is her ex-boyfriend's dad. It is so steamy, forbidden vibes. I really loved this one, and I'm sad that the Cloverleaf Farm series is over, but I'm really excited for whatever new series that Melanie comes up with next year. Next is Last on the List by Amy Dawes. This is book 5 in her Wait With Me series. It is a single dad nanny age gap romance, and I absolutely loved every single bit of it. Max needs a nanny, Cozy needs a job for the summer, and Max hires Cozy despite his initial resistance because his daughter absolutely loves her. At first he's very critical and harsh with her, but he quickly realizes how good she is with his daughter, and he realizes she could be way more than just a nanny. And let me tell you, when this man realizes that he cares for her, he goes so weak. He's willing to do absolutely anything for her. He takes her on his private plane for a dinner date. Just everything about them is so good, and they're very much opposites, but they fit so well together. Next up is The Sweet Spot by Adriana Locke. This is a book that will definitely give you emotional damage, but it is so good. Small town romance with a retired professional baseball player and a hardworking single mom. Total opposites, but Cole falls so fast and so hard for Palmer, and he's determined to make her see that they fit together. Again, it will definitely give you emotional damage. This book will put you through it in the best way possible. Highly recommend. I love everything that Adriana Locke writes, but this is definitely one of my new favorites from her. Next up is Getting Real by Emma Chase. This is a single dad workplace age gap romance, and I love everything about it. I literally read this book in January, and I still think about it constantly. I cannot get enough of it. Connor is an ER doctor, also a single dad, trying to balance raising his 3 boys and deal with his ex-wife. Violet is an ER nurse, and she's had a crush on Connor for quite a while now and doesn't think he'll ever see her in that way until one day he does, and the chemistry just flows and sparks between them. I love their relationship with each other. I love how Violet connects with his boys. Everything about it is just so good. I'm definitely going to be doing an audio reread of this soon because I miss them so much. Next up is the All the Kingsmen duet by Kennedy Ryan. Technically this is 2 books, but you have to read them together, so I'm counting it as one. I went into this duet pretty blind. I really had no idea what it was about, but I got the first book in an audio book sale, so I decided to just hop in, and wow, this duet is everything. If you like watching political TV shows, or if you really liked the new Camelot series by Sierra Simone, you'll definitely love this duet. Very emotional, very angsty as always with Kennedy Ryan's books, but it was so good. I loved their relationship so much and how much they have to fight for their relationship throughout it all. Maxim and Lennox are absolutely everything. I just loved this duet so much. Honestly, probably will do a reread of this soon too because I miss them. Definitely need to read more of Kennedy Ryan's backlist in 2023. I'm really excited to read Before I Let Go. I just bought it at the airport last week, so I'm definitely going to read that soon. Next up is Blame It On The Vodka by Fiona Cole. This is the 3rd book in the series, but you can read it as a total standalone. I had no idea it was book 3. I just popped in and started it. But this is a friends to lovers, accidental/fake marriage of convenience. Raylan and Austin have been friends for years, but have never crossed that line with one another until one night they wake up married in Vegas. They decide to go along with it for a little while because Raylan's kind of in the spotlight, and she doesn't want it to kind of look bad on her, so they kind of fake it till you make it for a while. But Austin has very big feelings for Raylan, and he really wants her to see him for who he is. I love their relationship dynamics, everything about this book so good, and the steam, I was really not expecting it, but it is so good. Another top read of mine for the year was Fractured Sky by Catherine Cowles. This was the final book in her Tattered and Torn series. I feel like I read the entire series looking forward to Shiloh's story because you kind of get her backstory in book 1, and it just kind of builds and builds from there. And I had a feeling that Ramsey was gonna be her hero, the grumpy town recluse. He really is the perfect match for her. They've both gone through trauma, and their kind of broken pieces fit together so well. Also, I really love found family tropes, and this book has that, so I love that aspect of it. I love their relationship. I love this whole series, but this one definitely takes the cake for me. Next is Come Back For Me by Corinne Michaels. This is a single mom, small town romance. Connor and Ellie have one magical night together 8 years ago, but then they never see one another again because Connor ships out overseas. But now he's back living on his family farm after his father passes away, and the last person he expects to see next door is Ellie. Ellie is going through it with her abusive husband, and she's finally gotten the courage to leave him, and Connor is there for her through it all. And her daughter happens to just be the perfect age from their night 8 years ago. So this book is so good. I love everything about it. I read the second book in the series, but I still need to read the final two, but I don't know if anything will top this one for me. Next up is Flirt by Adriana Locke, the only author to make my list twice, but she had so many amazing releases this year. Flirt is book one of the Carmichael series, and I absolutely loved everything about it. Brooke and Moss are co-workers who have secretly crushed on each other for the last 2 years. Now Brooke needs a fake date for a family party, and Moss agrees to be her fake boyfriend. They are just seriously so cute together. I love their dynamics so much, and I love how much his family is pushing them together. It is so cute, so good. I also really enjoyed book 2 in the series, Fling, and I'm excited for the last 3 books. They are coming out in 2023. Next up is Give Me More by Sarah Kate. I am such a sucker for MMF romance, and I knew this book was going to become my new heart and soul, and it truly did. I put off reading this book for so long because I knew I wasn't going to want it to be over, and I'm truly so sad that I'm done with it. But Isabel, Hunter, and Drake are everything. I love their throuple so much. They definitely put you through all the emotions, but it is truly excellent. I love Sarah Kate so much, and I'm excited to read Mercy next. Sorry if the angle just changed a little bit. My camera battery died, but we are back. Next top read of the year was Always Mine by Laura Pavlov. This is book 1 of the Honey Mountain series, which is one of my favorite series of the year. I am so glad I picked up this book and started reading Laura Pavlov because I loved everything about this series. It's a small town romance series, and the small town is based off my favorite place in the world, Lake Tahoe, so it just felt so magical to me because of that, but also all the characters, all the plots. I loved every book in the series, but number 1 is still my favorite. Always Mine is a friends to lovers romance. Nico and Vivi have been friends for years and years, but they've never seen each other that way. But when Vivi is tired of men and how they treat her, she just wants some fun. And who better to give her some fun than her playboy best friend, Nico. I just love the two of them together so much. Everything about their relationship, their chemistry. Plus, he works for her dad at the fire station, so I feel like that gives it another little forbidden element. It's just so, so good. They're so sweet together. I love Nico so much. He's such a good book boyfriend. Just everything about this book, this series, please go read it if you haven't because I absolutely love everything about it. Next is Forbidden by Carlos Sorensen. This is a single dad age gap workplace romance. And I'm kidding you not, Amazon has been serving me ads of this since like last year, and I'm so glad I finally picked it up because it is definitely one of my top reads of the year. Isabel Ward hates any kind of change in her life, and on her day off she goes into work and she finds out there's going to be a new owner of the gym that she works at, which means she's getting a new boss, lots of change. She absolutely hates that. And when the new gym owner walks out of the door, who could it be but her childhood crush? Aiden Hennessy is a older retired MMA fighter, also a grumpy single dad. They should stay away from each other. They should not be together, but their chemistry is just so good. This is definitely a slow burn and low in spice, but there's so much tension and goodness built up throughout the book that I didn't mind that it was lower in spice. Their chemistry is seriously just off the charts. I love the scene of them boxing together. Just everything about this is so good. I love how Isabel talks and relates to his daughter. It's very different than you like kind of normally expect from a single dad romance, like with the female main character. But I feel like it's so relatable, real, raw. This whole book is so good, and I'm definitely reading more of Carla's books in 2023 because I absolutely loved this one, and I've loved the other books I've read from her too. Next is Rewriting the Stars by Claire Kingsley. This is the final book of my absolute favorite series, The Bailey Brothers. My expectations were definitely very high going into this book because this is my absolute all-time favorite series, but it did not disappoint in the slightest. Even with everything going on in her personal life, Claire just wrote an absolute banger with this book. It is so good. This is a single mom firefighter romance with star-crossed lover vibes. I highly recommend reading the series in order because I feel like there are a lot of plot holes you will not understand in this book without reading the rest of them. But basically, Levi and Annika live in Tilcomb, which has a giant town feud between the Baileys and the Havens. Levi is a Bailey, Annika is a Haven, so they should by no means mean together, but they kind of have this secret rendezvous love affair, and when it all kind of blows up, it blows up big. But Levi, the sweet man, is so determined to make Annika his. I loved this book so much. The ending was chef's kiss, the perfect ending to the series. I definitely cried so much while reading this book, especially the extended epilogue. I feel like it was the best full circle moment for the Baileys, and I'm really excited for the Haven series starting in 2023. My next top read of the year is Quarterback Sneak by Candy Steiner. Holden Moore is absolutely everything. I loved this book so much. Holden Moore is QB1 for his college football team. He can pretty much get every girl he wants, except the one girl who is off limits, the coach's daughter. Julep has had a rough go of it, but she decides to transfer to a new school when her father takes a new coaching job. She's really trying to be on the straight and narrow at this new school, keep her life together, which means she should definitely stay away from QB1, but she can't resist. The chemistry between Holden and Julep is seriously just out of this world, and Holden Moore is like #1 top tier book boyfriend material. He cares for Julep so much and is willing to do everything and anything to show that he is hers and she is his. I seriously still just get like all these butterflies from this book when I think about it, and it's just so good. Please go read it. I feel like most people's favorite in this series is Blindside, but Quarterback Sneak, Holden Moore definitely take the cake for me, but I am really looking forward to Leo's book Hail Mary coming in 2023. We're getting close to the end here, but next is Juniper Hill by Devney Perry. Another new to me author this year. I'm so glad I listened to Logan and finally started reading Devney Perry because she has all the small town goodness you need in your life. Juniper Hill is book 2 in the Eden series, which is Devney's most recent series, and this book is seriously everything. It is a single mom meets grumpy chef romance. Memphis arrives in Eden on one of the worst days of her life. Like basically everything that could go wrong is going wrong, but she's determined to make a new life for herself and her son in Eden. That means living in Knox Eden's guest house, even though he really does not want any guests living there. Knox is determined to keep Memphis at a distance, keep his grumpy, surly exterior intact, but the grumpy man slowly thaws for her, and he falls fast and he falls hard for Memphis. Knox is just the sweetest. He's determined to kind of be there for Memphis in any way that she needs, but also let her keep her independence in ways. He's also so precious with her son. I love everything about this book, and I'm really loving the Eden series so far. I need to read book 3, Garnet Flats, and then book 4, Jasper Vale, comes out in January, so I'm really excited to read both of those after loving Juniper Hill so much. Normally it's really hard for me to pick like one top singular favorite read, favorite book of the year, but this year it was pretty easy because Heartless by Elsie Silver just took over my entire brain. This book is absolutely phenomenal. It has some of my favorite tropes in it: age gap, single dad, nanny, grumpy sunshine, so much goodness in it. But I feel like sometimes you can just like slap all of my favorite tropes in a book and it still won't be like amazing, but this book is just so magical, phenomenal. I don't have enough words to describe how much I love it. Willa and Cade are absolutely everything. They have the best meet cute, they have the best relationship dynamics, just everything about this book is so good. I had giddy butterflies basically the entire time I was reading this book. I just like cannot rave about it enough. Cade Eden is seriously the grumpiest grump single dad cowboy you could possibly get, and he's determined to keep Willa at a distance until that kind of all crumbles and falls apart, and then he is so weak for her. He also has the most filthiest, nastiest, dirty mouth you could possibly imagine on a cowboy single dad. And then there's Willa, who's just everything you need in a female main character. She is just like so headstrong and independent. I love it. He's also unwilling to take everyone's crap, including Cade, and will do anything to protect his son as well. Every single page is just simply phenomenal. If you have not read this book, this series yet, please go pick it up. I cannot wait for the next book, Powerless, but I don't know how anything will ever top Heartless because this book is just everything. Okay, there we go. Those are my top 22 reads of 2022. It was definitely hard to narrow it down to just 22. I feel like I could talk about 20 more top reads of the year, but these are the very tip top, I guess. That's gonna be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and leave a comment down below. Let me know what your top read of the year was. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you're new. We do a lot of work, lifestyle, book content here on my channel. And you can also follow my book talk and my bookstagram if you want to see more book content from me. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed hearing about my top reads of the year, and I'll see you guys in my next video.